Oh, I'm not even ready for this tonight. I think I have messed up on things. So, yeah, let me just check. No, oh dear. I'm just writing in a few things while I'm busy sorting that out. Let's play the intro video. By the way, I'm Green, your host. And oh, sorry about that delay. Sorry, I'm just technical difficulties here. You know how things go. Okay, fantastic. I just quickly want to change the light so this flickering can stop. All right, sorry about that, everybody. I am. It has been. All right, sorry for my long sabbatical. It has just been extraordinarily weird in my life at the moment. So tonight we are going to talk about parenting burnout and what does it look like, what it is, and how it all fits together. Now, it is, as you can see with my stop and go, I'm still recovering from my own burnout. And here is the reality. Even as a parenting coach, I get things wrong a lot of times. In South Africa and in Afrikaans, we have this saying, die skoenmaker se kinders loop altyd kaalvoet of loop het nie skoene nie. Which means that if you are a professional in your field, chances are that a lot of times your family don't. They'll benefit from your skills, but a lot of times you may miss the mark. As a parenting coach, I got stuck into helping others, dealing with, problem solving in my head the whole time for clients and for content that I wanted to create. And I still wanted, my list is in front of me to create all that content, but I got so wrapped up in my little world that I missed the cues that I was checking out of my family. So I wasn't the best parent. I was not the best parent at all. In actual fact, I messed up. And it took me longer than I thought to reconnect with myself, to reconnect with my family, and I think we're only now sort of on track. So I'm going to revert back to going live for the next month or so, maybe only like really start doing pre-recordings after Christmas, but the pre-recordings will come back, the Afrikaans content will come back. What I'll do is I'll stick to the Afrikaans schedule, so twice a week you'll just have an Afrikaans live, and then twice a month we'll have an Afrikaans live, and twice a month we'll have an English live. So how does parenting burnout happen? It can happen to any parent, and it can happen almost at any time. Especially if you just take into account the past 4 years, 3-4 years that we've had in the world, just a constant barrage of negative information, the wars, COVID, so many stresses, and then if you live in a country with where your safety, you need to question it all the time, that hyper arousal, that hyper alertness, it burns into your soul and you just get so exhausted. Now at the end of this conversation, I'll go into where I kind of missed the beat on checking in on myself and burned out. But for the purposes of the current conversation, let's just talk in the broad spectrum. It is so easy to burn out as a parent because we put ourselves on the back burner. We either we focus on work, and we focus on the kids, and we focus on our kids' needs. And if you have a child that is differently abled, your focus goes a little bit further than that, because in the beginning, especially of the raising of children, you have to do a lot of advocating and thinking for your child, and as they grow older, the thinking for your child changes a bit. You don't stop thinking for your child, it just, the dynamic of how you think for your child shifts. And if you don't grow in your mindset with your child, it actually increases your chances of burnout, because instead of growing with your child and enabling and shifting the thinking for your child more and more into coaching and going more and more hands off, you're exhausting yourself thinking, trying to problem solve things, and then stopping them, trying to stop them from doing things that they are ready to do, that they ready to leave the nest regard, or take responsibility for. And you keep on thinking and keep on thinking, and then we have our work stress, where we have to think for others and for our work, and it all just culminates in this huge big snowball, where we don't check in with ourselves, we don't take a break, we don't take a moment to pause. And I know, a lot of parents tell me, and I'm guilty, when am I supposed to pause? When am I supposed to sit down, take 5 minutes for myself, or 10 minutes for myself, without feeling guilty, without having that to-do list just going like through my head? And if you're the primary caregiver for the kids, that hamster wheel just does not stop. It takes willpower to switch off. It takes willpower to put that voice in your head on mute. That voice that tells you that you're not spending enough time. Why are you sitting doing nothing? There's laundry that needs to be done. There's teaching that needs to be done. Oh, have you done that work? Have you phoned this teacher? Have you done this? Oh, did you remember to get the sports stuff? Oh, do you remember the dentist appointment? Have you written it down in the diary? Oh, are you sure you've written it down in the diary? Oh, but have you remembered that? Oh, did you phone your friend? Are you a good friend? Why are you sitting here doing nothing? It takes a lot of willpower to mute that voice. And the problem is, when we reach burnout, we don't even have the willpower anymore to put it on mute. You don't have the energy to summon the energy to mute that voice. So all you have is almost like as if you're staring at a blank wall. Sorry. Not being able to process what you're thinking, not being able to mute what you're thinking, not being able to act on anything that you're thinking, and it's just like and more parents are experiencing burnout. Yes, gentle parenting is not just a tad more difficult than authoritarian parenting, it is quite more difficult, because part of the gentle parenting journey, if you were not raised by a gentle parent, is the healing process in yourself. The understanding where you're coming from, the understanding why you're reacting the way that, like almost over analyzing every decision you make to make sure that you don't repeat or don't bring in, that, literally so that you can break the cycle. But you're not always going to get it right. Sometimes you will be the one whose kids just, you miss the mark, you become disconnected, you check out of the family. And you don't do it on purpose. You don't even, sometimes even don't realize that you're busy checking out. It just happens. And it does not make you a bad parent. It really does not. What it does mean is that you have forgotten that you cannot pour from an empty glass. That you, as the parent, matter. That you are allowed to chase your dreams, go after your goals. You're allowed to sit down and just do nothing. You're allowed to take a break. You don't owe the world perfection. You don't owe your children perfection. What you owe your children is a parent that heals from their past, is honest about their mistakes, and is willing to learn and grow. That's what your responsibilities are. Yes. With that, yes, the beauty of this is, as you learn and grow, as you're honest about your mistakes, as you heal from your past, you're teaching your child. We get sucked into so many tricky conversations like, oh, how do I need to navigate this? And yes, there's certain fundamental questions that I try to answer on this channel of, oh, when do we start talking about procreation? When do we talk about gender? When do we talk about sexuality? When do we do potty training? When we do, like, all of that politics, because raising a child is a political statement. But what is the statement that you're making with raising your kid? We're all going to have these questions, and we constantly have to have those questions. But part of burnout is pretending that the whole world is not on fire. Sorry, let me rephrase that. One of the big parts of burnout is that we pretend that the world is not on fire while we sit there and watch how so many things go wrong. We watch things happen in the most atrocious ways. We go through a pandemic, we go through crime stats, we go through all of this, and in our brain it's like, I need to raise a child that is inclusive, that is kind, that understands politics of the countries, of the world, that will take care of the environment and future generations, and take care of themselves. And here we're sitting here, and we're barely able to take care of ourselves, because most of us were raised by parents that was either absent, not willing to teach us how to take care of ourselves besides the hygiene side, because emotions does not matter, or did the harm to us. Very few of us were raised in a household where there was a balance, where there was healing, where there was growth, where you could see your parents grow as people. So burnout comes from hobbling along in life. So I've been struggling with burnout for the past month and a half, and I didn't really realize that is what was going on. I knew I needed to take a mental break from social media. I thought it was just because of the media that I was consuming. But it wasn't just the social media. I was missing my family. I was missing my kids. I was missing my husband. We went through quite a high pressure situation. We were constantly sick, and things were just going, upside down. And one of our kiddos were going through a really difficult time, and we're not out of the woods yet. Mentally, I just checked out. I just couldn't. My brain just literally went on autopilot, and the only thing that I could focus on was, I need to keep the kitchen clean. I need to keep the kitchen clean, because at least we eat out of the kitchen, so I need to keep the kitchen clean. For a couple of weeks, it was a dash to the laundry line to take clothes off the laundry line, like directly from the line on the body, because I couldn't even get to folding it or ironing it or packing it away or doing that. I couldn't even summon the energy to get my kids to do their part, because it was a fight to get them to do their part, because I checked out. I've lost connection with my family. We're slowly but surely building it back. It takes a lot more work to build it back, especially as your kids grow older. It is building back. That connection is coming back. I'm capable of doing things again. That's got to do with what I'm passionate about. But honestly, parenting burnout is real, where you just look at your kids and you just feel like you can't anymore. Um, you can't be bothered to parent them anymore at this particular point in time. If they want to burn down the house, let them just burn down the house. If they want to live in filth, let them live in filth. Um, I just couldn't be asked anymore. And that is where I was. I'm in a better space now. And part of my burnout was that I am seeking ADHD diagnoses, which is a story for another day. Um, hey, who knew that my inability to complete tasks isn't just and completely a failure of certain things that wasn't implemented during my childhood to teach me certain things. It's just I flew under the radar. My inability to do certain things just it clicked, and I'm seeking out diagnoses, and I will on my TikTok or whatever start sharing about this journey, like the whole discovery and the journey that I'm going through. But that was part of the burnout. That was part of the feeling like a complete failure, the feeling that I just want to give up. I wasn't depressed. Um, I was just burnt out. I was just at a stage where I'm like, oh, nothing in my head. My head was never quiet, but it's as if just, yes, I don't know. Those who've experienced the burnout, well, understand what I mean. It's like, it's just no. You wake up in the morning, it's just no. So that's where I was. That's where now. And I'm back. And I thought it was very important to talk about the parenting burnout, especially um, since I'm on the healing end of the journey. And parenting burnout can look different for um, different kind of people, different people. Um, but the reality is, parents get burned out from parenting. Um, but we also need to be extremely honest with ourselves. That if I only had to parent, if you only like that, your only focus is parenting the kids, you didn't have to do anything else. No laundry, no household chores, no cooking, no cleaning, nothing. You wake up in the morning and you can even make breakfast for the kids and leave the mess. Someone else does that. You just keeping the kids alive and teaching them and engaging with them. Chances are that you probably will not burn out quickly, and you will be able to have those mindfulness moments and do the yoga with your kid and have those breaks. But that's not reality, and that's not the world we live in. Very few parents have the privilege of parenting from a position where literally the only thing they do is focused on the kids. And even those parents get tired because all you do is think for someone else and watch the dominoes fall. Make sure that whatever decision your kid makes here, they do it in a safe way and in an educated way so that they do not end up with a bigger boo-boo on the other side. So I think that is where I would like to finish tonight's conversation. That sometimes it sucks to be human. Apparently I'm not the superhero. Parenting coaches sometimes gets it wrong, and they sometimes also check out of their families as mindful as they can be and caring as they can be about but just because a parenting coach makes the mistake or flounders about with their own parenting journey. Um, the reality is we're all human, and while I checked out from everything, I'm back. I'm going to take things even more slowly, and keep on building and keep on moving forward. Guys, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And this is your reminder. Check in on yourself. Make sure that that to-do list in your head includes taking a break. And often enough, so that you're not too exhausted to be able to mute that voice that tells you you're not allowed to take care of yourself. Take care. Love you. And I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.